if you haven't been in business, if you don't know what business is like, business is a wild ride. Owning a business and developing a business is just a wild ride. It is a tremendous amount of fun. There's nothing more exhilarating than when you get to make money doing something you love. Seriously, like there's nothing more exhilarating. Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the BFG. Now, you may be wondering, James, how'd you get that armor? That's not single-player armor. And you're right. This is actually operations. And I've gotten a few operations done with some friends. And if you want to see some footage of those operations, leave a comment in the comment section below. My friends are totally happy to record some footage with me. And if you want to see that and see us progress in that, I'm totally happy to do that. Also, this is kind of a shameless plug, if you will, for our new BFG school community and Discord community. You can find new friends to play some operations, play other games with. We have a running list of games for each quarter that we run through. And if you want to join, all you have to do is click on the link in the bio, and there's a link to our free Discord. And then our school community is built for people who are looking for kind of that next tier of education and guidance and insight into business development, personal development, and more. So if you're interested in any of that, definitely go check out those links. Let me switch over to single player and let's get right into this gameplay. All right, we're gonna pause there. Switch over to campaign. Oh, here we go. I don't know what our... What are we... This is the one. I'm confused. All right, now we're back in single player, so let's get started with the gameplay here. And today, I wanted to talk to you about what I call the ups and downs of business. And you might be wondering, like, what does this mean? If you're not a business owner, you probably don't know what this means. But if you are a business owner, you probably know exactly what I mean when I say the ups and downs of business. Truth be told, business is kind of like riding a roller coaster. It's exhilarating, it's fun, it's sometimes a little bit chaotic and you're getting whipped around and there's a little bit of whiplash, the wind is blowing past your face, you're like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And sometimes it's grueling. It's just like you're climbing up that ascent and it's like, man, when are we gonna get to finally descend? And it's just like, I'm just ready for the next level of development. Also, if you don't remember last time we paused here where we saw all these guys making their way into the reactor. So we gotta stop that. But yeah, so business is kind of like a roller coaster. And in a lot of ways, business, even though it's like a roller coaster, you have to love riding a roller coaster because normally life is kind of more like switch to this guy, is more like a carousel, if you will. You know, there's a little bit of an up and down, but not much. And it's just kind of like, you're just kind of like moving around in a circle and there's not a lot of advancement, not a lot of development. And it's just not as fun, right? We ride roller coasters because they're fun. Now, some of you may be afraid of a roller coaster. You don't like riding roller coasters. And I totally get that. You have to enjoy what you do in business, and you have to love just the exhilarating experience of operating and running a business, because it's exhilarating. It's also tremendously difficult. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what that ups and down process looks like in business, because I think it's really important for everybody to understand these things. Let's see what we got here. Bolt. Ooh, the Melta. I've kind of grown to love the Melta rifle. it's just a tremendous amount of fun. It's like basically the shotgun of the game. It's super fun. Full disclosure, I have played this mission before. I've made it past this in like with playing with friends. So I saved this for you guys so you can experience it firsthand. But just wanted to make sure that you guys understand that like I kind of know what's coming a little bit. I don't know how far I've made it in the process of playing this game yet, but the story just gets better and better and better. This game is so flipping fun. It's not even funny. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So anyways, the ups and downs of business. What does that really mean? Like I said, if you haven't been in business, if you don't know what business is like, business is a wild ride. Owning a business and developing a business is just a wild ride. It is a tremendous amount of fun. There's nothing more exhilarating than when you get to make money doing something you love. Seriously. Like there's nothing more exhilarating. Like, I'll be honest, I don't make anything off this channel. This channel just started, right? This channel does not make any money. And I'm good with that because this is passion driven. Like I've been looking forward to this all week long, and I actually didn't get to record last week, and I was like so bummed out. I was like so sad. I was like a little sad boy. I was like, man, I need to record again. This is so much fun. And I know one day, even if it's not a lot of money, I know one day I'm going to have maybe some money that comes from this channel. You know, at least that's the goal, right? We all want to make money doing the things that we love. And even if it's not a lot of money, I know I'll make some money. And it's like, that's going to be tremendously cool when that day comes. But at the end of the day, it's not really about the making money. It's about doing things that are fueling your passion, right? So, like, in the initial, you have a lot of, let me see if there's any grenades around here. I don't see any, so we're just going to go without. In the initial, when you start a business, there's just all this passion, right? You wouldn't be starting the business if you didn't first, I didn't realize there was a sniper. You wouldn't be doing the business if you didn't have passion first. Like, that would be dumb. And so you start with all this passion, and it's just super fun. But then what happens is that you start to lose, I wouldn't say like passion necessarily, but you lose some of the, I don't know why my gun got switched from the plasma bolter, because that would have been helpful with these guys. Let me kill these things because these things suck. And I'm about to execute you. Also, for those who are playing this game, a patch came out when I was playing it last night for the first time in a bit. And I was kind of like, did they make it easier? I don't know. Maybe they didn't. And maybe it just feels easier because I'm getting better at the game. But it definitely last night, like when we were playing through the story, my brother and I was like, it feels a heck of a lot easier. Like I don't take as much damage. And I'm not complaining because like trying to do gameplay footage and like talk on camera is tough. I'm learning and I'm gonna get better at it, but it's definitely like challenging. Dude, that's always so freaking cool. I need ammo. And but yeah, when you start a business, it's pretty much entirely passion. You wouldn't be doing the business, you wouldn't be running that business if you didn't have passion. But then over time, passion fades, just like with anything. Passion always will fade. And it's kind of a bummer that passion fades. I've never been able to quite figure out how to keep passion from fading. Let's watch this cutscene real quick and we'll get back to it.
No sign of Tyranids. The smell of burnt ichor is enough.
We have what we came for. Move to the extraction zone.
So I haven't found a way to build upon previous existing passion. I found a lot of ways to find new passions for things, for old things, but I've never found a way to build, I guess, upon existing passion. Because that passion is designed in a lot of ways to change and transform over time. Like you don't have the same passions that you did when you were a 2-year-old. Like my son is 2 years old. When he was first getting into things, like his first year of life, he started getting really into dinosaurs. Like he was just always like, I have this video of him like just falling in love with dinosaurs. But now that he's 2, his passions have changed and now he's like really into tractors. And it's like, it just changes, right? Passions will change. They'll adapt. They'll grow. So that's part of that kind of up and down of business development.
Explain. You may direct that request to our captain.
Give me a tactical overlay of the city.
Captain!
A minute.
The Adeptus Mechanicus must be stopped.
What?
If they trigger the weapon, the results could be catastrophic.
And what makes you suddenly an expert in Mechanicus research?
They're using an artifact to power the weapon. I've seen it before, on a planet named Graia. A traitor by the name of Nemroth called it a fragment of the Dark God's power. It almost destroyed the planet.
Graia. Titus, the Mechanicus are acting on orders approved by the Primarch. And here are you, talking of Graia, of all places.
Damn it, Captain, if Chaos is here, if they get their hands on this thing...
Enough! I will hear no more on the subject. Now, did you get a location for Luz?
Aye, sir.
Then get down there and find him! There are those who would see you sent back to the Inquisition. Tread carefully, brother.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I've been doing a lot more research. Doing a lot more research into the lore of this universe. It's unbelievably cool. It's so freaking awesome. Like, oh my gosh, you have to go and experience it for yourself. Like, there's a bunch of like Warhammer creators on YouTube and things like that. They do a fantastic job of explaining the lore. I'm not going to get into it in these videos, but man, if you're interested in finding out more about this universe and what everything means and doesn't mean, it's like, it is robust. I'm still getting through it. Like, these are like hour-long plus like synopsises of like yeah, it's just crazy how much lore there is in all of this universe. And so definitely go do your research. Like, I learned more about like these things and what are these guys and like what is this whole what is the Imperium, what's the machine god, like all these things. It's like, it's pretty cool. So anyways, back to kind of like how things are a little bit like a there we go. Actually, this is my favorite weapon right here, the plasma incinerator. I'll show you why. Sniper rifles are actually pretty darn good too, especially the plasma, the las one, the laser sniper rifle. It's really freaking good. So yeah, when you're doing business, when you're starting business, there's a lot of passion, pride in what you do, and a lot of joy in what you do. So this is like, by the way, if you're playing this game, these are like kind of showcasing the type of mission that you will be going on in an operation that relates to the mission that you're about to go on. So my brother and I did the operation with those guys. It was super fun. So when you start your business, you have all that joy, all that passion, all that exhilaration, but there's also a freaking grind. And that passion is what pushes you up the mountain, so to speak. The passion is what moves the needle forward. Because if you don't have passion, it's just a grind. It's the same thing when being on a roller coaster, right? You get on a roller coaster and you are looking forward to what? The drop, right? You're looking forward to the drop. You're nervous about it. You're excited about it, but you're ultimately, that's why you're getting on the roller coaster. You're excited for the drop. You're excited for the loops and the twists and the turns, right? But there's the process of getting up that first slope, right? Now, if you're on one of those roller coasters, I'll pause here.
The temple is located inside the dome section of the city. We'll have to land outside and make our Lock armor. Lance of Jove, report.
Minor damage. Tag team is inbound.
If you're on a roller coaster, right, you're anticipating the drop, the turns, the loops, the etc. That's what you want to do. That's what you're excited about the most, right? And so there's a lot of tension that leads into that process, though. There's a lot of like frustration, if you will, in the initial phases of business. And that frustration stems from the fact that you just want things to get started. You just want like, you just want there to be like some momentum, and you just want there to be like a launch for something. Like you're excited, you're anxious, but it's a frick ton of work getting a business started. Another shameless plug, if you need some like assistance with like the getting started portion of business development, my BFG course community has the entire blueprint for how to start an effective business and do it the right way. Now here's the thing: you can start a business in whatever way you choose. You don't need to start it in any particular way. You can just kind of start it and run with it and see where it goes. That's totally an option, like kind of trial and error, if you will. That's totally an option. However, it's always better to kind of know what you're getting into before getting into it a little bit. And it's always better to try and like kind of understand the full process before you fully jump into it. So I try and give equipping and progress or process to, let's see what we got here. To the initial phases to get you into a position where you're actually making money faster with your business, and you're not just like frustrated, like endlessly trying to start something and never getting anywhere. So that's just something that like to keep in mind, like if you need some extra help. The other thing is like we have that free Discord community, and that free community is full of people who have either started themselves or they are starting, and you can connect with those people and just, build those connections and not spend any money on coaching, which is like, huge, especially in your initial phases of starting a business. But your passion is what will fuel you, is I guess the point I'm trying to make. Now let me ask you this. Do you sit on a carousel and like, do you sit on a carousel and think to yourself, oh, this is tremendously fun?
Is that you? Chiron! Bless the Emperor. It's good to see you. Where's your squad? Gone. Neurothrone tore them to pieces.
We need to get across the bridge.
Lieutenant, nothing gets across with that beast up there.
What are we up against?
It has its rear covered and we do not have the manpower to break through. The Cadians are holding the bridge, at great cost.
Set up assault positions by the bridge. We'll deal with the Neurothrow.
Very well. We will avenge them, brother. Watch yourself.
I want to make one kind of disclaimer real quick. Like, this game is going to be a little bit different in terms of its gameplay because, and I've noticed that obviously we're like 4 or 5 videos in, but this game is going to be a little bit different because like some of the breaks that I'm trying to find like are an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours in, not really 3 hours, but like they're just like much further into the game than you'd like as a, you know, from a streaming perspective or a video producing perspective. And I'm trying to keep these videos to about an hour. I might even over time shorten these videos to like 20 or 30 minutes, depending on what you guys think and like just how the views get and traction and that sort of thing. So just keep that in mind. If you guys like the full length, like if you guys like the like, oops. Also learned that you can get a couple hits in before doing the counter. It's kind of a good little trick to kill enemies faster and still get the benefits of the armor being restocked from the counter. Pro tip. So anyways, that's a little disclaimer. Like, I try and pause these gameplays in good spots where it's like, okay, I've been recording for an hour. Probably a good point to stop here. I also want to make sure that I get through all the principles before moving on. I'm going to try, though, I'm going to try and find some games that I can just more easily talk through and play through at the same time. Because a lot of times my brain gets kind of stuck on a specific part of what I'm trying to say. And it's a little challenging for me to like fully flesh out my thoughts and perspectives. So if I have a game that's a little bit more mindless and a little less thought intensive like this one, because I have to be really calculated with like, okay, parries and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to try and find some games where I can give some really great principles about business and self-development and family and all that stuff without pausing all the time to, you know, just play the game. Don't get me wrong, I freaking love this game. It's amazing. It's super fun. If you haven't picked this up yet, you definitely should. It's just hard to like stream, or not stream, but do gameplay footage of and talk at the same time. But I'm getting better, you know? That's a point of life. It's just get better. Slowly but surely. So yeah, I was saying that nobody likes riding a carousel, right? Children like riding carousels, which is fascinating to me. Children think carousels, like a kid will think a carousel. Just barely missed him. Like, see how that works? Okay, I'm sorry. Like, so obviously I stopped my statement, but you see how, like, I've gotten a lot better with the parrying, and I also do think in their patches, they fixed a little bit of, like, the parrying issue that I was mentioning in the last video. And the dodging mechanism, like, feels so much better right now. I don't know what they did, really, but it just feels 10 times better. All right. So, yeah, really, it's like most people don't like carousels, right? I mean, they may like it, but it's not like exhilarating. It's not fun. It's not like the best thing that they've ever done, right? It's just kind of a, I thought there was a Guardian, yeah, there it is. But the people want to ride roller coasters because it's an experience that you can't get in any other kind of ride. It's just pure exhilaration. And I kind of equate the same thing between like working a 9 to 5 in just some job. Maybe the job is a little passion driven, but you know, at the end of the day, you're just getting a job to pay the bills. Versus, like, compare that versus a business that, yes, there's ups and downs. Yes, it's kind of crazy. Yes, it's kind of chaotic. But at the end of the day, it's just pure, unfiltered thrill. It's just thrilling. It's just like this, like, unbelievably thrilling adventure and fulfilling adventure too. You're going to, like, if you do business, you're going to, like, really heavily, I'm going to keep this. You're going to really enjoy what you get to do for other people. Like, you get to make an impact on the world, an imprint on the world. Like, I think I've already got, yep. You get to do things that are, yeah, just like only some would dream of, you know? It's pretty special. Honestly, it's pretty special. And it's a wild, wild ride. Business is a wild, wild ride, but it is so freaking fun. What's the point I'm trying to make with this, basically? You might be like, James, get to the point. Get it. Business is like a roller coaster. 9 to 5 is like a carousel. I get it, but what's the point? The point is this. If you like riding carousels, then great. Business is probably not for you. Like, if you want a smooth and easy adventure, like not a lot of chaos or not a lot of problems, not a lot of, you know, crazy loops and turns and twists, then great. Yeah, then great. You're gonna really like being at a 9 to 5 and working for somebody else. You don't have to deal with half the problems that come with that, and you can have a really successful life, and enjoy it, even though it's like not necessarily like at your own discretion. The perks, though, of business and starting a business is that you have this really tremendous ability to be the steward of your own life. Like, I don't think anybody when they get onto a roller coaster, they think, I'm taking my life into my own hands, right? We would hope, and you know, we would hope that when you get on a roller coaster, that it's like you are. What am I trying to say? This part was weird. I'm not sure how to dodge all that. This part gets a little bit nutty. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. There's really no way to dodge it. It's really strange. But nobody gets on a roller coaster thinking that their life may be in jeopardy. At least hopefully not. If you're getting on a roller coaster and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to survive this, then maybe don't get on that roller coaster. Like, if you're like, there's this notorious roller coaster at a Elitch's near me in Denver, Colorado, and there was this old roller coaster that was like, there was an old joke that like, you basically like, I do not know how to dodge those. Because you dodge early, doesn't do it. Maybe you have to get in it. There we go. Oh, look at that. And then we can just hack away. I like this. Look at this one. This is freaking sweet. Just let you bask in the glory of that execution. But yeah, you don't get on a roller coaster thinking that you're taking your life in your own hands and you should be wary of what you're doing. Like, and in the same way, like, hopefully you're jumping into a business where you're not like this is dangerous and I might die. Like, hopefully you're jumping into a business where you're like, I'm just here for the pure exhilaration of it all. Now, the thing is, when you start a business, there are the moments of exhilaration, and then there are the moments of just grueling. When will we finally have a win? Just moments of just like pure and utter pain, I want to call it. And the beautiful thing also, just look at this landscape. Like, this is so freaking cool. It's just like, and also like, I think all these, like, you can kill all those. You can technically like just sit here shooting, picking shots on. It's just cool how they built that, like, and it's actually like interactable. But anyways, the point of doing business is to stretch yourself and do something that no one else is willing to do. Like, let's be real. Not everybody likes riding on roller coasters. Some people are afraid. Some people are, scared of what might happen to them. And that's okay. But I do think, like, the beautiful thing about business is that like, you learn how to overcome your fears. Like, the more you ride on roller coasters, the more you're going to be like, oh, this is not that bad. And then you keep riding more and more and more and more. And you're like, okay, like, this is actually really fun. And this is really, like, I enjoy this. Like, this is, and then you're able to do, like, harder, like, stuff. Sorry, I'm getting swarmed here. Yikes. Who said anything about this getting easier? Not me. I don't know who that guy was, but he was clearly mistaken. Anyway, that was close. Alright, let's get this armor back and I'll finish my point. The more you ride roller coasters, the more you learn to embrace the thrills, the hard parts about it, the fun parts, etc. And obviously this isn't a perfect metaphor. Business is a lot more crazy, and I'll finish my thought after this cutscene.
Need a ride, brothers?
Sergeant, good to see you.
The Cadians had the bridge under control. Thought you could use an extra hand.
A welcome offer.
Climb on. The temple is this way.
Lieutenant, the Cadians are requesting support.
Go. Thank you, brother. Ultramarines!
Have the enemy infiltrated the dome?
No, my lord. What about the Temple of Thasian? The dome was evacuated days ago.
Rejoin the main force immediately.
Our orders are to remain here.
On whose authority?
Captain Fairburn. We are to hold this position until further notice.
The dome is empty. Now move on.
But, sire...
I gave you an order.
Forgive me, my lord. Perhaps there was a communication error. The captain insisted. The deserters. No. We have our orders.
Boggs your captain. If you are deserters, I'll execute you myself.
Captain Fairburn, come in. Captain Fairburn, come in.
Ambush! Kill them! Traitors.
So now we get to meet some of the heretic legions, which is cool. Did a lot of research into these guys and like the different heretic legions and why they revolted against the emperor and stuff like that, and it's really fascinating. This whole universe is really cool. But yeah, so anyways, the more you do roller coasters, the more you enjoy the experience, right? The first roller coaster you go on, I remember it vividly, clear as day, when I was like a gosh, I can't even remember how old I was. I was younger, I would say, like probably like 6 or 7, maybe a little bit older than that. I'm not sure. I'm pretty tall, so I probably could have ridden the rides, even though, you know, if they said like you have to be this tall to ride the ride, I probably could have ridden it because I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm actually 6'4" in real life, if you were wondering. So anyways, where do you go? The more that you do entrepreneurship and the more that you get into it, the less scary it gets. But the first few downward slopes, it's both exhilarating and like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And for you, if you're getting started in business, that might literally be like the first time you make a sale for someone that's not a friend or family member. Like seriously, you might be like, oh my gosh, I'm about to work with somebody who's not my friend, who's not my family member, and what if this goes wrong, right? What if this goes horribly, horribly wrong? And like I take this person's money and I screw everything up. It's both exhilarating getting paid for what you're passionate about, but it's also scary. And then there are also times when you're climbing the hill and it's just a ton of grueling, difficult, hard work. And you don't see any wins, you don't see any successes, but you're like, okay, I'm going somewhere, I'm moving somewhere. That is such, like, for people who love advancing in life, like myself, you love moving, you love advancing, developing, growing, whatever the word is you want to use. You love that stuff. If you're that type of person, guess what? There are going to be moments where you feel so stuck, you're not able to move forward, and it's really debilitating. It's rough.
Cover him!
So it can be really tough when you are maneuvering into those places of difficult inclines, difficult things, problems that you have to get over. Those scary downward slopes where it's exhilarating, but also really just intimidating, right? Or maybe you're doing a loop and you hate loops in your business. You hate how scary those things can feel, etc. There's just so many things. There's so many facets about business ownership that can feel scary and intimidating and and just be challenging overall. But the cool thing about business, just like a roller coaster, the more you do it, the less intimidating all those parts become, and the more you just enjoy the ride. Like, guess what? Yes, a freaking carousel is gonna always be an anticipatable experience, right? You know exactly what to anticipate from that experience. It's not like it's that challenging to understand and know what a carousel might produce in terms of like enjoyment, fulfillment, and what's going to happen. You know, it just goes around and around and around and around and around, and you do a little bobbing up and down, up and down, up and down. But that's about it. That's really about it. Also, I need ammo. There we go. Roller coasters, you don't know what to expect. But the more you ride it, the more you ride different variants of roller coasters, the more enjoyment you have with them overall. And so I just want to encourage you with that. Like, if you're scared of getting into business because you're like, I don't know what to expect, guess what? You can't know what to expect. That's kind of the beauty and the difficulty of also this Laz Fusel. This thing's freaking sweet. But that's the beauty and the difficulty of starting business. That's why so many people don't start businesses, is because they're scared. But the beauty of life is when you overcome your fears to be able to do tremendous things in the world. Like, when you can get there, it's incredible. Like, seriously. And once you conquer one fear, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm unstoppable. Like, you kind of feel like you do in this game. Like, you do one hard thing in this game, and then you're like, I feel like I can't be stopped. I'm like a badass, right? And like, that's the beautiful thing about like anything, right? The more you do something, the easier it becomes. It's like the 40,000 hour, perspective, where it's like, you do something for 40,000 hours or whatever, you become an expert. I actually think that's less nowadays. People are just becoming experts in things like without working that hard on it. It's kind of amazing. But I think the principle remains the same. The more you do something, the easier it becomes. And like, you all out there may have an idea of a perfect future for yourself. And if you don't know what that is, like, again, another shameless plug. I'm sorry for all the shameless plugs today, but this is my passion. Stole his kill. Oops. You may have an ideal visual for yourself for your future, right? And that ideal version of yourself maybe it looks like something that you're like, I can't accomplish this without being a business owner. Or I can't accomplish this without making a lot of money. I can't accomplish this without XYZ. And if you don't have a visualization for your future, this was the point I was trying to make with my plug. I have a whole exercise in my course that helps people visualize said future for themselves. And that poor guy, just see this space marine walking towards him. So if you need help with that, again, that's like literally the first episode of the business course. So yeah, and we're gonna get past this section, and then we're gonna call it for this video. I wonder if I can snipe them from here. I don't think you can. Yeah, they're like frozen in time. That's fine. I was just curious. But yeah, the more you do something, the easier it becomes. That's just how life works. And the same thing with business. If you're afraid now, if you're afraid of what might be, or of just afraid of like the possibilities, or like afraid of getting started, guess what? The way you overcome that fear is just by getting started, right? That's how you overcome fear, is like by getting started. Like it's really simple. It sounds simple, at least. It's more complex than it sounds, because getting started is part of the problem. It's like so many people have starting fatigue or something like that. I don't know if that's the terminology, but they have fatigue of getting started. Decision fatigue. They have a fear of the unknown. They have just like they're just in a place of like unsurety, inassurance, or whatever the word is. Whoops. And that's okay. Like, you may be completely unsure of what the future might hold in like in business, and that's part of the beauty of it. You don't know what's gonna come in the future. You just have to jump on the ride and go for it. Like, seriously, go for it. And if you don't know what that visualized future for yourself might look like seriously, I have a whole exercise for it, but like, it's really just your dream. Like, I've been sitting here every single Sundays when I record. I've been sitting here and recording this footage, and I'm like, holy cow, like, this is my dream doing this. Like, I've wanted to do this for a long freaking time, right? And it's just so much fun. I'm not making any money yet. I'm not even, like, I don't even know if I have any subscribers by the time this video will roll out. We'll see. But it doesn't matter. Like, I'm enjoying the freaking ride, you know? But I also have a little bit of a luxury in that I built and am still building another business before this one. So I know kind of what to expect on the ride, so to speak. I know what the ride is like because like I've been on it before. So I can enjoy this experience. He stole my kill, I guess, then. So I can enjoy my experience a little bit more because I've started other businesses, right? So I know what to expect. And the more you do this, even if it fails the first time, the more you do this, the more enjoyment you're going to have time after time after time, because you know the experience, right? So anyways, that's kind of the point I'm trying to make here. Now, I really want to just speak clearly here. If you are a carousel rider, if you like the simplicity of riding a carousel, there is no shame in that. Seriously, I don't want you to be on this channel and feel ashamed that you don't own a business. If you're not a business owner, but you love just being around business owners, or you love like being connected to this community, please, like, I don't ever want to put you in shame because you don't own a business. At the end of the day, business is not for everybody. It really isn't. Just like how going to college is not for everybody, or playing sports is not for everybody, but it is for some, right? And so I really want this community to be open-ended for people who don't necessarily have businesses too. But I'm always going to be encouraging you because I'm passionate about businesses. I think I have to stay in this. Yes, I do. But I'm always going to be encouraging you to maybe consider starting a business. And then trying to equip you with the tools and the abilities to start said business. And the reason why is because I see the effects, I see the results of starting a business. Like, I see what it has done for my life, what it's done for my family, what it's done for my mind, my body, my spirit. Like, I've seen these things, and so I know what to expect. And I want, selfishly but unselfishly, I want everybody to experience this because I know what this can do for them. I know how it could transform their lives. So anyways, I just want you to know that, like, going into this, like into all these videos, like, if you don't want to start a business, there's no shame in that. Seriously. Business is not for the faint of heart, just like riding a roller coaster. And if you ride a roller coaster consistently, if you're a thrill seeker, business might be for you. Consider it. So a little bit about this section. I have no idea what these things are, but these again, this is all the heretics. And I was doing a ton of research into like the lore of like of this game. I won't get too much into it because it's like I obviously don't understand it as well as some do. I'm just getting into it a little bit. But I think it's fascinating, so I'll talk about it. But basically, there's this thing called the warp, and I think that's what these guys come out of. They come out of the warp in order to get here. And they in the warp exists what are known as like the chaos gods, and they're like these somewhat deity figures that I have like no ammo. These chaos gods that have all this power, and the emperor, the guy that we serve, he like basically what am I trying to say here? Sorry, I'm trying to beat this boss, get him down. Basically, he went into the warp and asked for the help of the chaos gods, and like basically like stole power, or he just basically came back unchanged. There's a lot of theories on what he did to come back so changed. I need ammo, please. Nope. All right. Well, we're basically done anyway, so we're good. We good. So yeah, so like the emperor of this, like the Imperium or whatever, is like basically this like deity kind of figure. Like it's this the universe in this is so crazy cool. Just really cool. But there's other people who have gone into the warp, like these guys, and they come out like all distorted and changed and transformed. So the thing about this game is that the main character, the guy you play as, went into the warp as well and came out unchanged. So pretty special.
Affirmative.
In the name of the Emperor, open the doors! Morius lose.
I owe you my existence.
Come with us.
To where?
The battle barge.
Compliance, but I must speak with Archmagus Nozick at once.
He's dead.
Dead.
You are to replace him. Lose. power source. It's dangerous.
I have spent my life studying it. I assure you it's quite safe. In the right hands.
Arrogance.
Arrogance.
Why must the Mechanicus meddle with the unknown?
We follow the will of the Omnisire.
Go ahead.
Titus, report to Captain Akaran immediately on arrival.
Confirmed.
Titus. A Captain Titus was killed on the Forge world of Graia over a century ago. He died holding the power source in his hands. Not even an Astartes could survive power of that magnitude.
Morius Luz, come with me.
All right, well, we're going to end it there for today for this episode. So jump on the roller coaster, start a business. I promise you it's a ton of fun. You're going to love it. And if you like these videos, if you love being a part of this BFG community, I would love it if you could subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever we release a new video. And definitely follow us on our socials and leave us a comment. I'd love to hear from you, get to know you a little bit. I'd love to meet you. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.